So
I do love that it asks you.
Oh, yeah, I know, in an American voice.
Do I want to leave?
Yeah, it's all right. So I'm going to start this video unless anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to chip in before we go. No, all good. During the recording, you are welcome to put things in the chat, and one of the leaders, or or myself or Laura, will get back to you during that time. But for the time being, let's go and have a look at this video. That is, if I can find it. Emma says that Holly wore her down. How long did it take?
Pretty much how we get most people.
Yeah. Right. Are you all seeing that like target picture? Okay. So I'm going to stretch it out to full screen and off we go.
There's no sound, Kay.
I was just about to say the same.
Well, I can hear it.
You need to also share audio as well, I think.
Okay. Right. Let me sort that.
Yeah, no sound here either.
Glad you said it now. Audio settings.
I was sat waiting because I was like, is it a silent beginning or?
Not quite sure how to do it.
We'll make you do a voiceover, Kay.
Yeah, all right.
One man is very happy in his job, the other one is not.
When you click share screen, you could also click the settings to share audio as well.
Well, I've gone into audio. Shall I stop screen sharing and try again then? Because it didn't ask me that. Share sound. Thank you, Beth. Okay, let's give that another bash. So they're going to start off by talking about the warm and cold market. So just before we start it, does everybody understand that expression, the warm market and the cold market? So, okay, so really, really briefly, the warm market is people you know. The cold market is people you don't know. So that would be the Facebook world, the lady on the street, the person you meet at the bus stop, that sort of thing. And what tends to happen a lot of the time, not for everybody, but most people I was going to say better at, but in fact, it's more to do with a preference. We have a preference for either contacting the cold market, so talking to people we don't know, because we're like, oh, I can't tell my sister. If she wanted to join, she'd have told me. And other people prefer to talk to people they know, and they can't talk to strangers. So bear that in mind when I share this again. So let's give that another bash. Okay.
Announced and have a
We
call level 1
Can you hear it now?
script simply because the people that fall into level 1 are the people closest to you. So we're talking about family members, close friends, people that you've known for a long time. These are the people that you have the kind of relationship with that you could drop in on unannounced and have a cup of coffee with them at short notice. And what you'll find when it comes to sharing your business with them is that because you have such a close relationship with them, you can usually use an approach that is direct, informal, and often contains quite assumptive language. Everything that you're going to learn on this training is based upon real-life experiences, good and bad, that we've had building our own network marketing businesses. So what better way to demonstrate than with our first role play? In this scenario, Danny's a brand new team member, fresh and excited from his first training, and he's decided that he first wants to prospect his brother, played by me.
Yes, so here goes. As Paul says, I'm brand new to network marketing. I've just finished my first training, so I'm now armed with my fail-proof script that I've been told to read word for word and my list of people to prospect. Paul, my brother, is at the top, but then I plan to call my best friend and then my sister and the rest of my closest family and friends. So, here goes. Hi mate, it's only me. Listen, it's just a quick call. I've started this new business and I'm really excited about it. I think there should be some benefits in it for you.
Say that again. You've done what?
I've started a new business and I'm really excited about it. I think there could be some benefits in it for you.
You've started a business. Who do you think you are, Richard Branson?
No, but I'm excited about it, and I think there could be some benefits in it for you. Now, I'm in your area on Tuesday and Thursday next week, and all I need is for you to...
Why are you speaking like that?
Like what?
Are you reading from a script?
No?
You know you're welcome here whenever you wish. You don't have to make an appointment.
Okay, so shall we call it Tuesday at 2 p.m?
Tell me what it is first.
Well, it's a business I've started where you can build a team. It's brilliant, honestly, but I need to show it to you rather than tell you over the phone.
Sounds a bit dodgy, mate. Tony did one of those pyramid things a couple of years ago and he never made any money. I'm not interested.
Oh, it's not a pyramid, mate, honestly. It's totally legit.
No, mate, you're all right. I'm not interested. Listen, I'm going to have to crack on. I'm really busy. I'll see you later.
Now, how do you feel that went? Is it fair to say that it possibly didn't quite go as swimmingly as I'd hoped, or, for that matter, quite as well as I might have been led to believe it would go? And probably, more importantly, after that experience, how keen do you think I am now to call my sister and my best friend?
Let's return to what we discussed earlier regarding human nature in general. I think it's fair to say that Danny's confidence has been eroded somewhat by this unexpected experience. And it's highly likely that an element of doubt is creeping in about what he's got involved with. And as Danny alluded to, he's probably already starting to feel reluctant to make those planned calls to his sister and best friend. If he is brave enough to make the next few calls he'd planned, chances are that it won't take too many more experiences like this before we lose him forever at this ridiculously early stage in his network marketing career. Or, if he is a little more resilient than most people, perhaps he decides he was never really comfortable with that script that he was trained to say anyway, so he abandons it and quickly makes up his own.
Yes, I was never entirely happy with that script anyway. I'm sure I can write a better script myself. So I've decided to create my own and give the next person on my list, my best friend, Dave, a call.
Hiya Danny, how's it going, mate?
Hi Dave, it's only me. Listen, it's a really quick call. I've started this new business selling shampoos and potions, and I think you would be absolutely brilliant at it.
You what? Say that again.
Mate, honestly, it's brilliant. Once you've signed up a customer, they then keep reordering and they tell their friends about it, and then you end up with loads of customers, and not only that, you can sign up other team members, and when they sell products, you get a percentage of those sales as well, and before you know it, you're earning thousands and thousands...
Stop. What are you talking about? Why would I be interested in that? I'm a painter and decorator. Not a salesman.
I know, but all you need to do is mention it to your customers, and when you get 100 customers, you get a free company car.
So what car is it?
It's a Vauxhall Corsa.
A Vauxhall Corsa?
Yeah, but it's brand new, mate.
Danny, I don't care how new it is. How am I going to get my ladders in that?
Okay. But when you reach level 7, what they call Starship Commander level, you get an even better car.
And what's that?
It's a Lamborghini Aventador.
A Lamborghini? Danny, I've got 5 kids. Where are they going to sit? I don't need a company car, mate. I've got my works van. I'm no good at sales, and to be honest, I'm doing quite well at the moment. I've got work coming out my ears. I'm easily covering my bills, and I'm even putting money away for a rainy day. And what do I know about shampoo? I went bald at 21.
Okay, mate. But how about you buy some of these products? It's not just shampoo. We've got a pill that clears up your skin and helps give you a boost in, other departments as well.
Look, mate, my skin's fine. And I'm not sure what other departments you're referring to, but I need no help there, I can assure you.
Okay, mate. If that's not for you, could I interest you in a milkshake that is almost proven to prevent nasal hair?
Listen, I don't know what you've got yourself mixed up with now, but whatever it is, it's not for me. I'm really sorry.
Okay, mate. Thanks anyway.
So, how do you feel that went? Clearly we've taken it to extremes and we've had a bit of fun with it. But we're sure that you'll agree that overwhelming people with information with no regard for their personal circumstances or the nature of our relationship with them, regardless of how enthusiastic we are, is often the quickest route to confusing people about your business, obliterating your warm list and leading to almost inevitable failure. So let's try the whole thing again. Danny's going to call another level 1 contact, but with a slightly different approach. Hello?
Hi mate, it's only me. Listen, are you at home at the moment?
I am, yeah.
Fantastic. Put the coffee on, I've got something to show you. I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
What is it? Oh, he's gone.
Now, how did you feel it went that time? It was quite blunt and to the point, wasn't it? But the important thing is that I didn't suffer the ridicule that I suffered from Paul previously, because he isn't spooked or unnerved by me acting in a way that's unfamiliar with how we usually communicate. All Paul knows is that I'm on my way over to show him something. It could be something from a new car, a new puppy, or just another worrying rash. Regardless, he's likely to simply do as he's told and put the coffee on.
As we mentioned earlier, the 5 levels of formality was developed using our real-life experiences, and Danny has a great story about how level 1 worked for him.
Yes, I was recruited into network marketing by Stephen, my wife's cousin. We've got a very close relationship and I would absolutely trust him with my life. I was definitely on what could easily be described as his level 1 list of people. We've a very informal, familiar way with each other, so I was untroubled when, one afternoon, he let himself into my house, brandishing a DVD, declaring eagerly, "Have a look at this, it's the best thing I've ever seen, I'll be back in 10 minutes, before disappearing as quickly as he'd already appeared in the first place. So I did as I was told. I watched the DVD, and over the course of the next 24 hours, when he'd put a little more meat on the bones of what was involved, and I'd run it through with my wife, I joined his business. Now, I often say that this is possibly the best script I've ever heard, because one, his manner was not unusual to his usual manner. This is how we generally spoke to one another, so I wasn't alarmed or suspicious about his approach. And two, I trusted him and I valued his opinion. Now, I say this is the best script I've ever heard, but that's because it was based on our existing relationship. If he'd left my house and continued this approach with my neighbours, who he didn't know quite as well, if at all, then he'd have probably been arrested by the police within the hour. But do you see how, based on our existing relationship, he prospected me absolutely perfectly?
A great example, Danny. You should be starting to understand how this works now. So if you haven't already, start to think about those people that would be on your level 1 list and how you usually communicate with them. What channels do you use? Is it face-to-face, text message, a messenger app, telephone call? It might even be email. And what's the type and nature of the language that you use with these people? The approach you use when inviting them to take a look at your business should be consistent with how you already communicate with these people. Now, if you've been involved in network marketing for a while, we appreciate that you might be thinking, okay, I understand that now, but it's too late. I've already blown out the people who'd fall into level 1. Well, all is not lost. We're going to share with you what we call a rescue script. Danny.
Yes, I didn't get off to the perfect start by any means. Without 5-level skills, I blew through my warm list pretty quickly and largely unsuccessfully. So when I eventually found a little momentum and finally neared the sacred level required to qualify for our company car incentive, I needed to find some customers and I needed to find them quickly. So I went back to my warm list once again, but instead of using a standard script with them, I laid the truth on the line and told them about my why, my reason for doing this business, with a little bit of help from the fact that they hopefully cared about me and especially my kids thrown in there as well. So I called my dad, who declined the offer to be a customer when I first approached him, probably because I'd completely freaked him out with my initial approach, and I told him the absolute truth, my why. Dad, you know this side business I've got? I said. Well, if I get just a few more customers, I qualify for a brand new car. And not only that, the company invites us and the kids over to head office and gives us a personal tour of the place, and we get to meet the leaders within the company, and they treat us to lunch as well. The kids are so excited about it, so I'm under pressure to deliver. Now, I know I ran this past you a little while ago, but would it be okay if I did it again just to see if anything's changed? Even if it's still not for you, a few people might spring to mind who you might think would appeal to. Of course, he agreed. How could he not? I'd take the pressure out of the situation by openly accepting that the timing still might not be right for him to be a customer, but offered an explanation as to how he could still be helping me regardless, just by letting me show him what I do in detail. And also, I'd thrown his grandchildren in there for good measure. So, I visited my dad and he became the final customer that were required to qualify for the car. On the way back from head office in our brand new car, I remember my little girl saying, "Daddy, Grandad won this car for us, didn't he?" "Yes, he did, sweetheart. Yes, he did. Good old Grandad. It was all down to Grandad." Luckily, I don't let that get to me for too long, and I moved on quickly enough. But the point is that there are people who are close to you who love you and would love to see you succeed, but would also love to say that they contributed to your success. So share your why with them. Let them know what your goals are and your reasons for working hard at your business, because working hard to fulfill a dream or a goal is not a taboo subject. Tell people about it. As long as it's a humble reason, you stand a great chance of gaining their support. Because if I'd called my dad and said that I needed him to be a customer because I wanted to quit work in my 30s, drive a Porsche and dress myself head to toe in Armani every day, he would probably have reacted to my request a little less favourably, understandably. So, share your why with the people closest to you. Be it because the kids want to go to Disney, you need to cut your hours to spend more time with your family, you want to move away to a nicer part of town, or you want to raise money for a good cause. If the why is noble, and if they love you or care about you, you stand a much better chance of winning their support.
Love it. So do you remember in the first role play earlier when I was Danny's brother and I gave him all sorts of abuse when he prospected me? Well, let's try another rescue technique to try to overcome that scenario.
So, I've been in network marketing for a while now, and I look back on the previous call to Paul with an element of embarrassment, but I now feel much more confident. My business is going quite well, and I feel that the timing is much better to give Paul a try once again.
Hi mate, what can I do for you?
Hi mate, I'm after a favour if possible.
Of course, what's up?
Well, you know this part-time thing I've been doing for a while now?
Yeah?
Well, it's going really well. Probably better than I expected, if I'm honest. And I'm really looking to push on with it now.
Okay.
Now, I know I approached you about it a few months ago, and I think we established that it probably isn't your type of thing, which is fine.
Go on.
Well, I'm really looking to recruit more people into the business. And even though it's probably not your kind of thing, I'm convinced that you'll know some people who will be attracted to it.
Yeah, possibly.
So, all I need from you is 20 minutes so that I can show you what I do and how I get paid. Because I've realised that you don't really know what I do you?
Well, other than the pills and potions that you sell, no I don't really.
So I just need 20 minutes of your time so that I'll be happy that you know what I do and you'll be in a better position to help me out. As my brother, does that seem fair enough?
Yeah, of course. I'm home all evening tonight if you want to pop round.
Great. See you later.
There are some very powerful language patterns in what Danny's just said to me. Without me realising it, he's made it very difficult for me not to agree to what he's asking of me. First of all, Danny's overall approach is passive, even slightly defensive. Danny's acknowledged that it's likely not for me. This makes me feel comfortable that he isn't going to put me in an awkward sales situation, and so I'm likely to agree to his request. He then adds a little more subtle pressure by leaning on the fact that I'm his brother, and then by ending his request with, "Does that seem fair enough?" It really does make it difficult for me to say no to what is actually, on the face of it, a totally reasonable request. Danny's goal is simply to share the information and collect a decision. And by coming back to me in this way, he creates conditions in which I can objectively review what it is that he's doing without feeling under pressure. And who knows, now I don't have to fight off his sales tactics, I might just see an opportunity in it for me. At the very least, even if the opportunity is still not for me, I'll know exactly what Danny does and how he can help people so that I can confidently recommend him, his products and services, and his business opportunity to anyone that I think it would make a good fit for from now on. So again, if you've already prospected many people on level 1 without success, begin to think about what you can say to them, sincerely, that will encourage them to buy into what you're doing and help you achieve what you want. When you've listed your level 1 prospects and you've put some thought into how you usually communicate with each other and the channel that you use to do so, then as soon as you feel that you've crafted an appropriate, comfortable and natural approach, take action. There's never been a better time than right now to do so.
So obviously they're talking about a specific opportunity. It's not even theirs. I think they actually come from Utility Warehouse. So I don't think they've ever done potions and pills, but they're trying to make it generic so that you can adapt what they're talking about to what you do, to what we do. So you obviously are going to have to tailor it to what you want to do. So I don't know if anybody else has ever approached somebody completely wrong, because I know I have in the early days when I first started wanting to climb the career ladder, and I asked friends and family if they'd be interested, and I got it so wrong, embarrassingly wrong. I love that they offer you the rescue options. So, you know, you've completely ballsed it up. How are you going to go back and rescue the situation? And the way that you rescue the situation is tailor it to that person. You know, if it's somebody who's close to you, presumably they already like you, they are invested in you, and you also go for the referral. This is something we talk about a lot. Certainly when you get to sponsoring training, we talk about referral quite a lot. If it's not for you, do you know somebody else it would be for? Or if you're very timid, go in with referral straight off and say, do you know anybody who might be interested in this? Because if they're interested, hopefully they will then go, yeah, me. So it's you know, it's nice that you have those options to. And a really good example of this, using his rescue option, where he said, oh, you know, like, you love me, you want me to help, you know, come and help the kids, help me get this car, when he was talking to his dad, is how many of you know Lucy Bond, who's in Region Wing It, who has been working really hard to get on the trip to Tenerife, and in the last few days she was dropping slightly down the tracker. Everybody in Wing It pulled together, gave her orders, did a lucky squares, you know, to raise extra money to do like a bundle purchase for her. This is an absolute example of that, where, you know, she didn't even have to ask. People want to help her. And you know what, even if you think you're Billy No Mates, or you know, you don't feel you have people like that, you have. There are people in your life who care about what happens to you, and actually there's no shame in going to them and saying, what can you do to help me? They may not want to be your next joiner yet, or they may not be able to host a party for some reason, but maybe they can buy their next bottle of shampoo from you. Maybe they can, or their pills and potions. There's usually something they can do, but you have to ask them, because they're not necessarily going to come to you and go, hiya, you've never asked me, but would you know, I would quite like to join your business. We once had an sorry, who's that?
No, it's right. I was going to carry on.
We once had an embarrassing scenario where somebody ended up in the same manager's team who was the cousin of somebody already in that team. And she joined through another person. I think she might even have been a head office lead. And she joined that team, and her cousin piped up and went, oh, hello, I'm in this team. How come you didn't join through me? And the answer was, you never asked me.
I have sisters in my team that are both leaders and never asked the other person.
Yeah.
Like, Holly's dying over there because it is her.
Oh.
Holly and her sister Rachel, 2 different leaders in 2 different parts of my team, never asked each other whether they would like to be in the body shop at home. They're in different areas of my business.
And you do sort of assume, like I said earlier on, you do sort of think, well, you know what, if my sister wanted to join, she knows I do this, should have come to me. Actually, if she's an assertive person, maybe she would. But if she's not an assertive person, she probably wouldn't. Because
that's it. Looking at it from a customer point of view, have you genuinely gone to your family and said, I need to host a party, could you hold one for me? You know, I need to practice it, I need to get used to saying my pattern, talking about the products, could you hold a party for me? Like, if you physically not said that word and assumed that if they were going to hold it for you, they would have commented on your Facebook post you did, or they would have, but some of them will go, because if it was me, this is what I did when I joined. I went to all of my family individually and said, oh my God, I've started something new. I'm really scared. I don't want to get it wrong. I have to hold a party. Please let it be with you because at least I feel comfortable. Could you just invite some of your friends and family over?
Do you want to say that again a bit slower and they can write it down?
Yeah, but I don't know what I said. I can't. Thank you, Wendy. So I literally, when I first started, said to all of my friends, in fact, every single one of them individually, I said to them, I'm really nervous. I've started something new. I have to do parties. Please, can you hold a party with me with your friends and family? Because I would rather be embarrassed with you and your family than have to go out and find people that I don't know, basically. But I found it was the easier thing to do.
Robin, can I just quickly answer your question there? During COVID and everything being on Zoom and Facebook and what have you, one thing we did learn, I don't like it as much, but one thing we did learn is you can do really quite effective parties online. Just so you know, it doesn't have
I was going to say, you can still go live.
When's a good date, and then just never got back to me.
Don't ask them when a good day. Go to them and say, I've got this date and this date. What one works?
Okay.
Oh, and you, if any of you have ever been offered a one-to-one, probably look, I'm pretty sure Laura would do the same actually. I don't say when's good for you. I say I've got this date and this date. Which one suits you? And if that neither of them are possible, depending on who it is and how assertive you want to be, you either go, no problem, I've got this one as well, or you go, oh, I'll let you know if I get any cancellations. Because sometimes, do you know what? Being a little bit hard to get does you some favours. So
thanks, Holly. Holly typed it out for you because she speaks, Laura, so it's fine.
Brilliant. Yeah, so and don't forget the benefits. So, you know, look at it from their point of view. So if it's for hosting a party, since we're talking about bookings, if it's for hosting a party, don't forget to get 70% off. Where else can you go and get 70% off of anything, for goodness sake? If it's for joining your team, what could it do for them? Well, actually, look what it's done for me and Laura. We were both
but actually, look what it's done for everybody. You know, I look at Beth, I look at Holly, I don't know everybody. I look at Emma in the year that she's been here and the difference, even with the little things. In the beginning, she was like, yeah, I don't want to post a photo. I don't want to do a party. And she did a party. She didn't want to post a photo of her using products. Now she does. You know, I'm not going to go live. Now she goes live. Like, your confidence changes, but I think it's that.
And I think that's probably the biggest difference for me is confidence. 6 years ago when I started this, I couldn't maintain eye contact with people. Now I do presentations. I'm so different. Obviously for a lot of us, it's also the earnings, but it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. It can be about confidence. It can be about self-worth. It can be about all sorts of mental health. It can be about so many different things. It can be about one of my biggest drivers with this job is, as most of you know by now, is to do with the values of the company. I feel really strongly about them. And he mentioned your why in there, and he's saying, you know, when you go for the rescue script, don't forget to appeal to them as your friend, as your sister, as whatever they are, but also talk about your why. Why is it you want it? Is it just because you want to make a bit of extra money because, you know, that may or may not appeal to them? Or is it because you want to help them, or you want to achieve something else, or you need it for you? What would appeal to them? Always tailor it to the person you're talking to. I haven't read any of the comments, by the way.
That's okay.
He talked about using a DVD. Now, some companies provide, like Danny was using there, a script which would have been provided by his company. We don't do that. But if you look in the guides of your region, you will find that there are potential scripts that you can use. So for instance, in mine, we've got the 3 texts that you can use, and I know that those of you who've been on recent Leaders in Training will have seen those, but they are in the guides for anybody who wants them. So we do give you suggestions. We never give you a script. We also don't give you a video or something to use. We suggest that you again tailor it to you. So it was after the first time I attended this particular 5 levels training that I made my own recruiting video, and I'm about to do a new one because I've got the new kits now, so I can show that. But it's not a bad idea. It doesn't have to be a video. You can write a script, but if you do write yourself a script, about not too long, by the way, nice and short and punchy and not too involved, but you do it tailored to you. So it's got to be about you, about your journey, what you achieved, how it's made you feel better. and about what can be in it for them, but it does have to be quite short. So when I made my video, my aim was to keep it under 3 minutes, and I think it's 3 minutes and 2 seconds or something.
If it's under 5 minutes, you can send it in Messenger. So
yeah,
you definitely want it to be under
and I
5.
do all the time. So have a think about how you're going to offer your opportunity. Now, I'm talking opportunity there as in the job. It doesn't have to be, it can be a party, it can be you know, some bottles of shampoo, the opportunity to get this month's customer special, whatever it is, your opportunity. How are you going to put that across? And if you are just doing posts on Facebook, we all know by now, just putting a post in your Facebook group is not going to cut it. You are going to have to do more than that. So have a think
can
about,
I just, sorry, carry on.
yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, can I just ask who here has genuinely gone to their family? So they're level ones. These are like your mum, your sister, your auntie, maybe your best friend, that type of thing, and said to them, not about joining, but said to them about the products you've got and what you think would work for them. Have you offered them that catalogue? Have you said to them about a party? Because I know that I did it with my mum and my sister. I didn't really do it with my aunties because I was like, well, if they want it, they'll come and ask me. It did get that way, but then I got to the point where I did the training. I was like, no, I need to go back because I know they won't join, but that's not true because I asked them and they did. One of them did, but I think it's that you just automatically go, well, of course they're not going to join, or they use this product. Why would they use mine? I think you have to get over that bridge and go, no, I need to have that conversation. And I really do think the best place to start is hosting, because if they say no to hosting, at least you can offer them a catalogue. You could offer hosting and they don't want to host a party, you know, and growing a team maybe isn't for you, I don't know, but you all need one sponsor to get on the consultant retreat. So you want to get one person, you know, but you could think to yourself, okay, I'm going to go and ask my nan if she'll host a party for me. And she says, it's not for me, you know, the old dears I know aren't going to want to come or whatever. Okay, nan, do you fancy a catalogue? Would you like to have a look in the catalogue? Do you reckon you could share it with your neighbours for me? She may say no again. She's probably not going to join my team, but you know, you've got those 3 options. But then my next bit would be, well, I'll tell you what then, Nan, could I give you some samples and could you do some reviews for me that I could then share with my customers? Because as a lady of your age, maybe don't say that, but you know, but she's going to be able to tell you something different about that product than maybe what my sister can say, because there's products that are going to work on my nan at 83 that aren't going to work on my sister at 25. Yeah. So you know, so I think going in with those, not necessarily taking that no as a no.
So you starting on one offer and then you move and
I tend to start with the one they're likely to say no to, which as a regional manager for me is joining. But for you guys, if that's not your thing, it could actually be parties, because they're likely, let's be honest, I'm going to be really honest here, they are likely to say no when you ask them for a party because they don't know what the benefits of a party is. If you're going to physically just go, hi Karen, can you have a party for me? She's going to go, no, I don't know what the point of a party is unless we get in quickly with the benefits. But it's the same with products. When you're talking products, it's really key to talk the benefits of a product. I could sit here and go, oh, I love this, it smells amazing. Okay, great. So does lots of other products smell amazing. But if I tell you what it does, why it works, the benefits of it, what I like about it, why I use it, why I think it's good, Karen's going to sit there and go, I want one of those. She couldn't care less how much it is right now. She wants it. So then when I go to Karen, but Karen, you can have this for £5 or whatever, you know, using host rewards, she's going to go, okay. I mean, it isn't £5. I'd just like to add that out there. I was just saying, you know, but it's going to create that buzz a little bit more. So then when I go to Karen, but Karen, would you like to have a party? You know, you can get this cheaper. You can try it before you buy it. Your friends can try it as well. Karen's more likely to go, actually, I might. But if she still says no, I'll say, I'll tell you what, could I pass you a catalogue? Could you have a look through the catalogue? I'll give you a couple of samples. Maybe you could share it with your friends. She may still say no. And then I say, how about reviewing it for me? What if I give you some to try for a couple of days? Could you do a review for me? I'd love to share it with my customers. I mean, she may say no 3 times over, but it's very rarely.
When you keep making new in a nice way, not pushy, not too salesy, but when you said, like Laura said to her nan, will you have a party? Nan said no. Do you want a catalogue? No, I don't think so, love, you know, it's not for me. And then she said, well, would you mind trying a few things out for me? I'll give you some samples for free. Not only are you saying that's for free, so it's likely to get a yes anyway, it's really hard for nan to say no 3 times to her granddaughter.
And
it's really hard for your mum or your best friend to say no 3 times to you.
And you wouldn't necessarily be pushy, but these are your level ones. These are the people that love you. They're not going to go, Oh my God. I mean, my family laugh now. Like when I go to the house, my dad might say something really silly and my sisters will go, Laura will have a Body Shop product that'll do that. She's probably got it in her bag. She'll get it out of me. Because I talk about it a lot because I love it. But they make a joke of it. But my mum will then go, oh, the lady at work was talking about blah, blah, blah. I told her that you do this cream that does. And I'm like, but it's my mum. She's not really bothered that I talk about it. My sisters aren't really, but yeah, they joke about it and they prod jokes at it. My brother-in-law is the worst for picking holes in me for it, and then ordered £240 advent calendars. He's never bought anything in his life from me, but it was that thing of I always talk about it. He hears it. No, it wasn't Craig. It was my brother-in-law, Michael. But you know, he's my biggest critic, and yet he's also my biggest supporter because he pushes people my way. He takes the mick out of me, but in a fun way. But I do know that if he wants it, his girlfriend uses all the stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Jude's the same. My son, he's terribly embarrassed if I walk up to a stranger when we're out and sort of start talking about Body Shop or just try and turn the subject. Then, oh, well done. If I turn the subject to Body Shop in public, Jude will go, or walk away from me. But he does add his friends to my customer group. So, you know, it is worth getting that word out there. So the first thing you need to do, this is your first action, everybody, is you need to make a list of your level ones. So level ones are people you're really comfortable with, people you can just drop round. If they live too far away, virtually drop round. People you could have that kind of a chat with, like Danny and Paul did just now, that really, really relax, people you know well, people you're comfortable with, people who like you. So you need a list. Now, I'd like to think that even the saddest case can come up with 5 to 10 people on the level 1 list. So I hope so. I'd hate to think that anybody doesn't have at least 5 people on their level 1 list. So this would be relations, people you're really comfortable with. It could be your mum's best friend that, you know, has been like your auntie throughout your life. Those sort of people that you really, and what I want you to do is not prejudge them. Don't think, oh, I'm not going to write Auntie Sue on the list because she'll never join the business. It's not for her. All I'm asking you to do is make a list of your level 1s. Not people who you think will buy your products or join your team or whatever, or host a party or whatever. Just make a list of your level 1s, because do you know what? They may not be the sort of people who will buy your products, host a party, join your team, whatever. But they're somebody they know maybe. So just write down that list of your level 1s, and then think how you're going to approach each person. What else did I write? Yeah, I think that's probably about it. So think about what you want to achieve. Think about your level 1 list. Think about how you're going to approach them. And then if you can't move on from that, that's when you involve your upline. So you come to us, to me, to Laura, to Beth, whoever your upline is, and you say, okay, I've done my level 1 list. I've had to think about it. None of these people are remotely interested. Where do I go from here? And hopefully not in quite that negative a way, but talk to us about it, and we will try to help you find a way through.
I'd also like to add as a little aside homework, because he did mention knowing your why. I've sent a little script to Kay in her chat, so hopefully she can share it with you guys and I'll share it with mine to help you find your why, because I genuinely believe unless you know why you're doing the Body Shop home, so it could be because you want to go to the consultant retreat or Sicily, or you just want to earn that £25 free shopping with the 150s and stuff. I think until you know why you want it, why do you want a £25 free shopping, why do you want to go to Sicily, why do you want to get the party bookings, I think until you know why you're doing it, it makes it really easy to give up when it's not going right. So when you go, I've spoke to my level 1s and no one's interested, I think there's that big thing of like, well then why are you going to push on? You need to know why and it is harder the longer you've been here, the harder it is, because you achieve lots of those things that you originally started for. But I think it's really key to sit there and go, no, but I need to earn this much, or I want to do this much, or actually I need to achieve Sicily to feel like I've got my mojo back, or whatever it is. I said it because I felt like we were feeling that thing.
Yeah.
Got Ro feeling it there.
Laura desperately want to achieve Sicily. So
but I just think those are, you know, it's really important to sort of know why you're doing the Body Shop. So on those days, you know, when you woke up every day in January and you were like, oh my gosh, it's day 9 million today and it's very quiet and no one's talking to me and no one's answering, you need to know why you're here so that on those days you still move your butt. and you still go, but I'm still going to do what I've got to do, and I'm still going to talk to some people, and I'm going to share that catalogue today. There was a really great post that someone shared the other day, and it was, you know, if you can't contact 20 people today, contact 3. If you can't share the catalogue with 30 people today, share it with 1. You know, if you can't do this today, just do 1 of those, because doing it once in the day is better than doing it not at all.
Absolutely. I think that was you, wasn't it, Beth? That was your post. It was
I
very
think
good.
Carrie started it. It was like a Carrie started it, and then it snowballed everywhere. It was brilliant. But I genuinely loved that little poster, and I thought it's so true. Or even on my days when I don't think I'm doing my best, I've still done better than those that are doing nothing. And I think you have to remember, if you've achieved something, whatever it is at the end of your day. So it could be asking 10 people to try a product for you, or asking 15 people to host a party and explaining why hosting a party is great, or offering that opportunity, because there are people sat there absolutely skin desperate to learn how to make money. Who here in their lifetime has Googled, I do it, I've done it, fastest way to make money, how to make money fast, how can I make money now? I've done it. I've sat there and gone, Google, how can I make money tomorrow? Like, I've done it. We are the answer. You can earn money twice a
If
week.
you make loads of money tomorrow, you'd have spent it by the day after.
If I earn loads of money tomorrow, I've already spent it today. There's no doubt about it. I definitely have a spending problem, but hey, that's part of me.
So can we have a, because we need to finish by 9, can we have a quick sharing session? So I would like to hear either if you've got a question or something you'd like some help with that we can deal with here rather than you messaging us later, or if you've had a light bulb moment and are thinking, wow, that's amazing, I've got some great ideas. So who would like to go first? Come on, let's have somebody. Please, Isabel.
Go on, Isabel. Whoop, whoop.
Right, well, for me, I mean, to those who don't know me, I quit teaching like very recently, and on a very sort of low, because I was off sick with, I burnt myself out, I was off sick with depression. For this, I mean, it's not been long, but it's done wonders for my confidence. And it's like I need to prove something to myself, that I can do something else than teach, and something that I've tried another product in the past and I was absolutely awful at it because I made all the mistakes these guys made, you know, and but I love the Body Shop products, and if I thought, well, if I love it, it'd be much easier for me to talk about it. And I don't know, I mean, somebody else, Katie, told me about it and she made it sound like so much fun. I thought, well, I'll just give it a go and see how it goes, and it's been fun so far, but I'm learning a lot as well. So just an idea I want
I'm
to
just
share.
really impressed that you've only joined, what, last week or the week before?
The beginning of January, 2-3
Oh, was
weeks.
it? Oh, okay, it was that long. It feels more recent than that. And here you are on a training. It's brilliant. So well done, you.
Yeah.
And well done, Michelle. Thank you.
What's your question, Isabel?
Oh, yeah.
It's not, I just want to share an idea I had because, I mean, some of it is Sarah's idea, but I hadn't acted on it. So I'm going to do it. It's something I think Laura just said that. I'm going to ask 10 people to try the foundation, the new foundation, just for the texture, because I don't have all the shades because I can't afford to buy all the shades. And then if they like the texture and how it feels and all of that, then I'd say, well, I'll match it for you. And
yeah, brilliant.
Where
do you live,
Really
Isabel?
good idea.
I'm in Cambridgeshire. I'm near Ely.
Okay, right. Oh, our family come from Ely. Okay, so yes, in terms of the foundations and stuff, we're going to be doing some trainings, but
oh, good.
too far away. But
we can do bits online.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share or ask a question? This is what it's always like when we ask for this. Everybody's scared to speak up. Well, just know that you can do that after. You can. Oh, Stacey, we're going to say something.
Yeah, sorry. When I did the market just gone, I actually did really well with that. But I took a few samples out to people that were sitting outside having their lunch and just basically enticed them into my stall. But also be careful with doing that, not to give out too many of your samples, because when I did that, quite a lot of them came in, didn't look at my stall and actually went to everyone else's stalls. Right. So the person, like there was 1 or 2 people in the market that gave me that advice of going out and using my samples, so it actually benefited them more than myself. So
So
just
that's where
be
what I tell you what's
careful.
really good is these are the survey forms. This is on Rainbow, Stacey. So if you look in the files on Rainbow, or you could just make your own, but you can download mine. Yeah, let's see, Holly's on the same wavelength. So I've always done fill in a survey form and I'll give you a free sample. And I give them fairly generous samples, but they only get one. If they want more, my host packs contain lots of samples. So you know what? Host a party and I'll give you lots of samples.
I think the fact that you've done a market in itself gives you...
It's awesome.
But and it also gives you that thing of, okay, so next time I need to do this and I probably won't do that. And I think I'd probably done 3 or 4 stalls before I realised that that was how I was going to do it. That was my way. That's how I approached it. And that's what worked for me. And then that's how I did it going forward. So I think it's great that you've done it. The free prize draw slips or surveys are ideal because you'll get names and numbers of people to contact then. Because obviously they've got your details with your sample pot, but you've got no contact with them.
And the nice thing about doing these is you are collecting their data. Too often we say, oh, here people give away a card. I'm not even a huge fan of cards. I know most of us got them, but they give away a card that's got your details on. You're giving it to somebody, but that card will normally just rustle around in the bottom of the bag till the next time that person's tipped the bag upside down over the bin. We all do it, don't we? Whereas if you do one of these and give them a little incentive in a sample, you could also print off some 10% off vouchers, or new customer voucher. When you make your order, quote new 2022 or Stacey 2022, whatever whatever code you like, and I'll give you a discount. And the discount can just be 10% off. But you can decide, if you want to give away a little bit more, that's absolutely up to you. But you could give them a sample and a voucher, for instance. But you are collecting their data, so now you can contact them. You've got their phone number. You can WhatsApp them and send them a link to your group and say, I'm doing a prize draw on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Everybody who joins my group by then will be in the prize draw, and the prize for that can be a sheet mask, which is nice and cheap to post.
No, it's a pamper night for them and 5
pamper night.
friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So if they're local, obviously, which they would be if you've met them and give them a survey form anyway. So there's such a lot of, so many different ways to do it. But I think what you have to remember is that we are all self-employed. You're all entrepreneurs because you joined the Body Shop at Home. You've become a self-employed. You're all over 18 because you have to be to join. So you're all, grown-up entrepreneurs within the limits of your contract that you agreed to when you joined up. You can run your business your way. What works for you? Go and find what works for you. We do a lot of sharing in our regions, and that's brilliant. And it's great to get those tips, particularly when you're new. But don't forget that you can go and think outside the box. You can do what works for you. Only you know the people you know. Only you know whether you're doing a pop-up shop or a party, or you're doing whatever it is you're doing, a table in a cafe, however it is that you're doing your sales. You do need a way to do your sales, and you probably need a way to do your sales outside of just Facebook these days.
I think all those people go to me, oh, this is your only job. It never used to be. I did better when this wasn't my only job because I saw more people. So are you maxing those environments that you're going out to every time? Have you got those survey forms with you, a catalogue, samples, maybe a product you can drop on them, to create that conversation everywhere you go? Now, don't get me wrong, it's scary, and you're going to learn over the next 3 weeks how to make those conversations, but they get easier and easier, I promise. Yeah, plop appeal. Yes, Isabel.
Sorry, where can we get information about when we need liability insurance? Because it was actually quite a shock for me because I didn't know I needed liability until after I did the market, and I got a bit of a telling off by my market leader.
If you need it for the market, they should have told you when you booked.
So there's a website called Liability First, and it's £24 for the whole year. It might be £25 actually. Oh, it's gone up, 27 then.
£27 a year, something like that. It's Liability First. The nice thing about Liability First is that, when you go to get insurance and you have to choose your job and you're like, oh, I don't know, none of these. The good thing about Liability First, there is an option under the jobs for body shop consultants. How amazing is that? You don't
it's all preset for you.
you don't have to have public liability insurance. It depends what you do. If you're doing an event like a stall or something, they sometimes ask for it, and that's when I'd go and get it. And as I say, it's £27 for the year, and you can offset against that, against your income.
I like having it because if I was in someone's home and I happened to drop something on their carpet and it was their brand new carpet, I would be livid and I couldn't afford to replace it, but my insurance would cover that.
And
so
it
for the
covers,
sake of £27.
So yeah, so it is worth having, but you don't have to have it for most things. It's quite nice though.
I didn't even know that bit about the dropping stuff on someone's carpet.
Yeah.
Because the lady I was speaking to with regards to markets, she was saying about 180 odd pounds, and I was like, oh my god, but 27.
She's probably got shares.
Yeah.
Trying to get you to join. No, seriously, we all use liability first. And well, most of us have got PLI. If you're doing a lot of stalls and stuff, it is worth having. But like Laura said, even for parties, if you drop something,
you don't have to have it. I like knowing that, God forbid, I don't know, something happened and I broke something in someone's house. At least I'm not liable as such. I've got insurance that covers it, and it's under 30 quid. So, but Isabel was going to say something. You just have to unmute.
Yeah, two things. One question, which I hope is quick, and I'm trying to remember it now because I think it's gone.
Sorry.
You're not old enough to have menopause, brain.
Not yet, but it'll soon come, believe me. Never mind. So I was thinking about, Laura was saying earlier this week that I don't get out of the house at the moment because I don't have a job. And I had an idea. I love knitting. I'm obsessed with knitting and crochet. And I looked up my local knitting and crochet groups. And I thought, just go meet people and then don't harass them to start. Once you know them, just drop it in what you do in the conversation. So
do you know the best way to do that, Isabel, is ask them what they do.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, it's so lovely to meet you. Definitely go to those groups, make new friends. And then when you're talking to them, also, what is it that you do? Because they're naturally going to say, so what is it you do?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you can say, oh, I was a teacher and I done this and this, but I needed to protect my well-being and my mental health. And actually I now do this, and I love it, and have a catalogue in your bag just in case that conversation appears.
But I was pleased with myself because I came up with it on my own. Oh, I remember the question.
Go on then.
Is there some website somewhere, those of you who do stalls, where you can look up the stalls in your area? Because I'm not too sure how to find them out.
There is a Facebook group.
Yeah, there's a Facebook group called Hampshire Hampshire Stallholders. I know there's a Dorset Stallholders, so there may well be there may well
mine
be
on my local Facebook page.
There's also a website called Stall Finder.
Stall Finder.
Yeah.
And also contact your local churches and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And preschools.
Some of the schools and stuff have started charging a lot more. So an average charge to do a school fete now is about £15. But don't forget sheltered accommodations, old people's homes. They love you going in, and they will never charge you. It will be free. And now that we're really relaxing COVID a bit, that hasn't really been possible for a while. But I did one in December, and they were happy to have us in, and they had a couple of different stalls, and I was one of them. They didn't charge me. I did about £150 there, and I've got a party booking from it for the staff. So that one was free. So definitely worth contacting old people's homes, sheltered accommodations, those sorts of things. Yeah.
Thank you.
Check out community halls as well.
Yeah. Again, think outside the box. What else is there? If you've got a local community cafe, approach them. If you've got local businesses, again, a lot of them haven't been doing it because of COVID, but it is starting to relax. People are going back to working in the office. I used to do a big company nearby, and I would give them, this was my agreement with them, but you can make something different. It was either 10% of my profit, not the sales of my profit, or £10, whichever was smaller, and it didn't go to the company, it went to their pet charity. And I just thought, it's a charity, then I would give £10 to charity anyway. So and the most I ever sold in one day at that particular company was, I think it was £600. So it was amazing.
Also, for those that have got small kids, soft play is incredible, because if you speak to the soft play and ask them who their charity is, could you pay to set up in one of their side rooms midweek, to speak to the mummy, share the products, and any money, you know, whatever percentage you work out would go to their local charity or whatever they're fundraising for. They will take you. I used to do Play Shack all the time, and they were saving for a defibrillator at the time, and I probably bought half of that, I reckon, with our donations. But I loved it. I got to see mummies once a week that would nip in and grab a sample, free prize draw slips. I did a lucky squares. I had products for them to try, but I got so many party bookings because I sold it as Pamper Nights with those mums.
It is, we have an acronym, TTP, talking to people. So get the word out there. So when you're offering all these opportunities, one of your opportunities that you're offering is, do you know somebody, a company, some sort of organisation that would like me to come in? See, I've occasionally done Women's Institute meetings where I go in and talk about community fair trade, or I go in and talk about children on the edge, and I've always got orders from it. I've occasionally got really good donations for Children on the Edge, which is, it makes my evening worthwhile. So just have a think about what else is that, but just ask, you know, go on your group and do a live and say, I'm looking for opportunities to get the word out there. I'd love to, whatever your thing is, I'd love to come and show you how to do a makeover. I'd love to come and talk to you about community fair trade. I'd love to come and tell you how this job has changed my life. Whatever it is for you, the thing I say this a lot, but talk about the thing you're passionate about, because it really shows. So if I went and wanted to talk about makeup, people would not be convinced because I hardly wear it. I'm crap at it. I can manage,
but you're not.
Well, it's not my forte, but I can go in and talk about comfort zone. I can go in and talk about community fair trade, those and skincare. I'm passionate about skincare as well. So find the thing you're passionate about and talk about that. But just keep asking people how they can help you. What can they do for you? Where could you go and talk?
Also, just quickly, remember, brownies, guides, Women's Institute, all of these places have funding to
wherever there's a group of people. Emma Chadburn, you know, I mentioned earlier on, I shared with her on my first ever training. Her husband does rugby. She went in and did a pamper evening for the rugby club, and she got some amazing photos. And they were all sitting, the men, these big rugby men, were all sitting there with their face masks on and stuff. I have no idea how she did from it in sales, but it was a really good PR move.
I've got girls in my team that do running clubs, and they do pamper feet nights with the running guys, and I think it's thinking outside that box. We automatically go, oh, it's a party. I need to go to a woman that's like me who might have a party.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's thinking bigger.
What
okay,
else
let's
do you
take
do? What else are you connected with?
But take the party word out. Fundraiser.
Yeah.
You know, product testing night, pamper evening, girls'
Workshop,
night in,
workshop.
makeup, workshops, one-to-ones. You know, anything you want. You know, shopping from your seat, anything. Think about how you're targeting and marketing it.
And that thing about going to the people who love you again, I say to them, certainly in Region Rainbow, we do a certificate. Do 10 faces. This is skincare or makeup, and you earn a certificate. You have to send me photos. I need evidence because Wendy got hers last year. So say to them, I need 10 faces to make up or 10 faces to practice facials on. Again, you can do that again now.
And models required.
Models required. And would you be one of my models? I need 10, please. These people are already invested in you. They love you, or they like you, or whatever. There's a really good chance they're going to go, yeah, go on then. And who doesn't like a little facial for free? And you get some amazing, make sure you take those photos. Same with parties or any other gatherings. Get those photos. Those photos are gold dust. Get them laughing. Say something self-deprecating, get them laughing, and get a photo of 8 women sitting there laughing. Oh my God, you're going to get bookings from a picture of 8 women having a good time, doing the old drawing on your head thing, you know, get a photo of that. Whatever you're doing, if you're going to do a skincare thing on one person, get somebody to take a photo, get her to hold the camera, because then she's got her there and you standing behind doing her face. Even if you're making a complete muck up of it, you know what, be honest, go in your group and say, poor old Sue, she was my model last night, almost took her eye out. Who else has got more eyes than they need, you know? But appeal to people, just think outside the box, try everything. What have you got to lose? Seriously, what have you got to lose? The worst that can happen is you have a fun hour with that person, and when you do a skincare one-to-one, you get a really good order from that person, usually. But if you don't think, oh no, I failed.
So many of us hide behind social media, and that's okay. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's really difficult world to maintain if you're not going to give it 24 hours, not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it feels like that. I think sometimes we need to go, actually, let's step back. Who do I know that's on my doorstep that I actually could talk to? Who could I send a message to? Could my neighbour pop over tomorrow night and actually could I practice a facial on her? There's training everywhere for you to watch how to do it, including BI. I just think, you know, it is putting yourself out there and going, what's the worst that's going to happen? Is they say no, or you have a little bit of a panic because it's scary, but you're not actually going to die. Like, it's just doing it. I remember Holly, she covered a party for me before Christmas with a customer that's been my customer for the whole 5 years I've been here. They're funny, they're giggly, they're big spenders. She was absolutely pooing herself, but she had no choice. She had to go and do it for me because I was ill. She had to go. And then she had the time of her life and was buzzing for days afterwards. And she was like, ooh, and she got her mojo back. And I genuinely think sometimes we've got to push ourselves that much just to get that buzz to make you go and do something else.
Just before I address you, Stacey, because I'm aware that some people might want to go, so I'm just going to quickly say, next week we will be covering the next 2 levels of the 5 levels of formality. I will be recording these, but what I'd really like is for people to turn up every week, because you will get more from it by actually being part of this. So please turn up again next week. If you have, you're right there, Laura. If you have feedback or questions, you know that you can come to us, right? Most of you are in some sort of group where you can talk to us, or you can message us directly. So I'm going to address Stacey's question. If anybody needs to go at this point, that's absolutely fine. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, or when I'm going to get, oh, don't go yet because I need to get a good screenshot with everybody smiling. If you did get something out of this, could you do us a favour? Could you go and shout about it on your profile in Rainbow or Wing It, in your team chat? Go and say, oh my God, you should all go, because we have between us over 600 people, Laura and I. How many are on this call? Not that many. And I accept not everybody can make this time of the evening. However, there's a lot of people who could have come and chose not to. And I think we need to, we're always saying, come on the training, we can help you. But we need you guys to go out there and say, you should come on these trainings, people, because it was amazing.
Even if you didn't learn anything, it's just nice to talk to people.
Yeah. And I had a bit of a laugh about Danny and his rash.
And I must say, I really like their out of sync clips. That really annoyed me.
Right, so
Stacey, you're going to forget otherwise.
If you still want to ask a question, I'm okay for time. So you know.
For now.
Right, Stacey, over to you.
Just wondering, when it comes to eyeshadows and blushes, how do you sanitize those after you've used them on someone?
Aha, I can tell you that. It's an incredible invention called sellotape.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, so you put a bit of sellotape on top of your whatever your powder is. I haven't got one. Actually, I have. This is an old face base. And you stick a bit of sellotape, and you might have to do it more than once if it's a big thing like the face base, and you peel it back off. Can you see it's taken, oh, where's my camera? It's taken the top layer off. And you'll also see, you can't see it on this one, but if you do it on your shimmer waves, you'll see that it takes that shininess off. You know, when you use something a bit and it goes sort of shiny and you can't get the brush to pick up anymore, it takes that shininess off. But this takes off a very fine layer, so you won't lose too much, and it sanitizes.
And then obviously keeping your brush clean in between with a brush cleaner or something will help.
Tea tree hand wash, tea tree face wash, they work brilliantly on your brushes.
But if you've got a spray brush cleaner, I don't know if Body Shop still do theirs. I've still got one.
I've still got
spray it at a party as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy them elsewhere, but obviously it was better for Body Shop because it was ethical.
Yeah. Any other questions before we call it a night? Brilliant. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you all next week. So can you all just give me a nice big grin? If you're not on camera, but you're able to quickly pop on camera just for the photo, that'd be amazing. Just going to zhuzh my hair.
Look, Lucy knows the drill. She's changed her jammies, brushed her hair.
Right. Smile, everybody. Lovely. And I'll share that with Laura. We can put it on both regions. But seriously, if you found tonight of benefit, please shout about it. Let's get more people on these calls. So thank you very much. And I'll see you all next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Get those level 1s written. Bye.
Bye.